Yes, I finished Shadow and Bone Season 2. Yes, I finished watching the Daisy Jones and the Six adaptation. I have thoughts on both of them, and they're not all good. I will forever be a "the book was better" girly. Another month has come and gone. An entire season of this year has ended, and I have not read as many books as I thought I would have completed by this time. But that's okay, because where there's a lack in quantity, there's certainly an abundance of quality. Let's roll that intro. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Neverland Book Club. First, I'd like to ask, is everyone enjoying the shorts, the TikToks, the Instagram Reels? Because I feel like an old person making them, but I'm also having a lot of fun, so I do hope you're enjoying them as much as I am. Alright, we don't have many titles to go over today, so this might be a shorter video than normal. Let's start with Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Reading this novel was a thrilling and scientifically accurate adventure through space. Scientifically accurate in the form of a sci-fi. It was as accurate as it could be for fiction. We'll say that. The book is a testament to Weir's extensive background in computer science and his meticulous research, which is evident in every page of this gripping story. The scientific concepts and theories explored in the book are explained in an accessible and engaging way, making it a fascinating read for both science enthusiasts, such as myself, as well as the casual reader. I specifically appreciated his descriptions of micromanipulators and the certain equipment used to study microbiology, which happens to be the exact tools I use every day at my job. So I thought that was pretty cool. I felt seen. Although he didn't use the exact language I would have used, he used language that would be more easily understandable to a wider variety of readers. The book also delves into the possibility of life in space besides ourselves. It presents a threat unlike anything else we've seen in the media of seemingly innocent microorganisms threatening the livelihood of our planet, and seeking answers in the depths of space. If you're not normally into sci-fi, I would recommend this book not only as an introduction to the genre, but as an overall good story despite its category. The story discusses loneliness, friendship, and asks questions of the universe through a main character that is more likable than most people I know in real life. He was really cute. Weir's attention to detail combined with his storytelling skills create an unforgettable reading experience that will leave you awestruck by the wonders of the universe and have you looking up into the stars with a different kind of curiosity than before. Yes, this is high praise. I could be overhyping it, but I don't care. I loved it. I loved how excited the main character was about science, because that's me. It's exciting. I loved his curiosity, his approach to solving problems, and the overall message of friendship and humanity this story tells, even if your best friend isn't human. I want to say this was a 5-star read for me personally, though I can understand why this wouldn't be a 5-star read for people who aren't scientists. So, as a scientist, 5 stars.
I feel like that wasn't as humble as it could have been.
I'm not saying I'm a rocket scientist. I'm a microbiologist who works in fertility. Oh no, there are children outside. Okay, that was a lot for a little book. This next one was definitely a step back. It didn't give me the same feeling of, I can't wait to tell everyone I know about this book, but it still was fun.
Stop having so much fun.
Settle down, children. What are they doing? What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall. This was a mystery thriller with unexpected twists and turns and an undeniably gripping plot. Nothing is what it seems, and what at first glance might be read as a supernatural avenue turns too real too fast. What started out as an innocent game between 3 young girls to pay homage to the goddess of the forest quickly becomes a summer that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. When one of the girls is attacked in the woods by a serial killer and lives, it's not laughing matter. She gets stabbed like 16 times. They're able to identify and put the man away for good. The girls are celebrated, but sometimes, in the heat of survival, logic and reason and the true accounts of things don't always add up. The story is being told through the perspective of these same girls, grown up 22 years after the events of that day. The narrator is unreliable, therefore putting us as readers right into the depths of disbelief. And the big twists in the end had my jaw on the floor. I was shocked, disgusted, disturbed, and having so much fun. Because I just love being disturbed. When I go to a hotel, I put please disturb. Instead of please do not disturb. Disturb me. Thanks. And yes, again, this is all high praise, but I did also feel like while reading, I was quite bored. For the most part. It takes too much time and exposition to get from one milestone of a plot point to the next. I felt like the book was longer than what it needed to be at times, while certain other elements were perhaps not thought through as thoroughly as they should have been. I did appreciate that all questions are answered in the end. It has a satisfying conclusion that you don't always get with mystery thrillers. I give this read a solid 3.7 stars. I recommend this book to all my mystery lovers, but it does have some triggering moments of assault and PTSD and suicide, so readers' discretion advised. This was better than the Lisa Jewell books I've read so far, though in the same pool, with like a feeling. I feel like the characters and plot of this one piqued my interest at a higher level. So, yeah. Next, we have a book I've been waiting for months. My very first short was about the day I took off of work to go find and purchase this book, A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon, the prequel to Priory of the Orange Tree, and what is, in my opinion, one of the most well-written fantasy novels created by someone who is still alive today. Now, I've read big books before. I've read It years ago and all the SJM big boys, not to mention Priory, the first one. So I guess I've never really had big book fear, although I do understand why some readers tend to shy away from books that present as girthy. And I'm here to tell you, you have nothing to fear. It'll fit in your brain. You have nothing to fear and everything to gain. You need to approach these marathon novels as exactly what they are, just marathons. You're in it for the long haul. They are commitments, but one thing I've learned in life, commitments are nothing to be afraid of. They should be embraced for the value of potential experience they hold. Same with these books. Could this have been 3 books separated over years of publication to make it even more money? Yeah, probably. But that's not immersive enough. These books need to be this long because you are being sent into another world. You are being transported into this fantasy reality, and it deserves your time, attention, and commitment. And it is worth it! I will say though, when Hecate and I reviewed Priory a few months ago on a live stream, one of our main gripes with it was that there weren't enough dragons. There were dragons on page 3 of this one, and then none for just a long stretch. And then there were a boatload of them all at once for a while, and then poof, they're gone again. So as we said with the previous review, if you're reading for the dragons alone, you might be a little disappointed. Also, good amount of spice in this one. Not as much as something like ACOTAR, though I stand by my statement of ACOTAR not being nearly as spicy as everyone makes it out to be. But it feels like readers wanted more open door spice in Priory, and Samantha Shannon said, fine, here, how's this? And this is good. It's good. This is good for the story, you know? It fits. It's relevant. It doesn't feel forced or out of place. It's good. I also appreciated the introduction of characters in the beginning of the book, and then we dove into the regions. This gives the reader a better sense of who's who and where they are in the context of the map, and provides a more solid blueprint for the world building that is to come. A world that is just so richly detailed and filled with magic and political intrigue is just so fun. The cast of characters is diverse without feeling like anything is forced or conformative, and they navigate a dangerous and complex web of power struggles and secrets that all somehow twine together as the story progresses. Different cultures and religious systems and histories make up a vivid portrayal of a world that feels all too real. In my head. I knew this was going to be a 5-star read before I even got in the car to go purchase it. And I was right. I might be biased. I might be looking through some rose-colored reading glasses, but I don't think that's the case. I think this was a true masterpiece of fantasy fiction, and I loved every minute of it. I also savored it. It took me a good week and a half to complete because I wanted to fight the urge to speed read and devour it as fast as possible. So good. So good. 5 stars, obviously. Okay, next for a bit of what the hell is going on here. Fun. Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin... Meow? I'm sorry. I don't mean to make fun of your name. How do you say that? Muir. Tamsin Muir. I've heard of this book countless times on Book Talk and the like, but never really knew what it was about. After reading, I'm still not entirely sure what it was about. Over a lovely dinner date with Hecate and our husbands, respectively, we were discussing the books we've been reading recently and completely ignoring their presence.
It was his birthday.
It was his birthday. Happy birthday. What have you been reading? I recommended her A Day of Fallen Night, and she recommended me this one. So naturally, the next day, I bought it. This book was different. I went in entirely blind, and I remember texting Hecate when I was about 7 chapters in, asking if I'm supposed to know what the hell is going on, because I had no idea. I think a few of the most appealing qualities I found while reading this book was the mood it just puts you in. The vibe, the witty, snarky banter. I laughed out loud numerous times because of the sheer disrespect and sassiness of Gideon and Harrow. I loved their relationship with one another. They're true not-so-enemies to not-so-lovers. I know the story doesn't explicitly use that trope, but it's felt all the same. Overall, this book is a thrilling and unique science fiction novel that captivated me from start to finish. Gideon is an irreverent swordsman forced to team up with her nemesis Harrow, a spoiled necromancer, to compete in a deadly game of magic and mystery on a haunted space station. So while Muir doesn't obviously adopt the enemies to lovers trope, the forced proximity trope is blatant, and I'm here for it. Muir's writing is sharp and witty with a perfect balance of humor and heart. The characters are well developed and fascinating, and the world building is rich and pretty immersive. However, with that said, I did find the pacing to be a bit slow and the plot a bit convoluted. It's easy to get lost in the world building if you're not used to reading something quite like this. Certain characters and settings can get a bit difficult to follow if you're not paying attention. But I feel like what drives the story forward is the undeniable motive and inner and outer conflicts of each character, which seems to be fleshed out pretty well. Gideon and Harrow both struggle with who they are and where they belong amongst others as well as with each other. Gideon the Ninth is a fantastic blend of science fiction, fantasy, and horror that I recommend to all readers who enjoy a bit of everything. 4 stars. I know there are more books in the series, and I will get to them eventually, especially after reading that ending. It can't end there. I need to know what happens. I don't know what happened. I still don't know what the book's about. It was just fun. Okay, so I've been trying to read at least one nonfiction title every month to broaden my reading horizons and learn more about history and culture and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't do that this month. This month, I read more smut. I think at this point I'm starting to become desensitized because I found it quite boring. Desperate Measures by Katie Robert. Yes, that Katie Robert. One of my favorite smutty authors. Diving deeper into the rabbit hole that is her adaptations, I found this little adventure between Jasmine and Jafar. Yes, Jasmine and Jafar. Did you know Jasmine is the only Disney princess who kisses someone other than the intended prince character in their respective story? Did you even remember she kisses Jafar in the movie to distract him while Aladdin came to the rescue towards the end of the movie? Did you also know that the animated character of Jasmine was modeled after the animator's sister? It's creepy. Anyway, in this story, the Sultan is a no-good gang daddy. Not that kind of daddy. He's a father. Jafar is his right hand that stages a coup and takes Jasmine prisoner, all at the beginning of the book. This had a CNC trigger warning, and if you need me to explain what that means, that's what Google is for, kids. But no surprise, they fall in love and visit a number of familiar people and places if you're already familiar with Robert's Neon Gods series, which I am. Aladdin is not in this retelling, but Ali is. You know, Prince Ali, Ali Baba. I like that little spin, at least. All in all, it was a smutty book about smut. But for some reason, it didn't press my buttons, turn my pages, ruffle my feathers, you know.
Unravel your turban.
Unravel my turban. My husband, everyone. I'd give it a solid 2.5 for a smutty book. Of course, it has grammatical errors here and there, along with a bit of lazy expose and redundant storytelling. But again, this is smut, so who the hell cares? Do I recommend it to all you dirty birdies out there? Not really. I do recommend Ice Planet Barbarians, which is the focus of next week's video, so stay tuned for that. All right, that's all I have for you lovely viewers today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like this video if you liked it and subscribe for more. Also, be sure to click that bell to be notified when we post both regular videos and shorts, because that's a thing now, and it's fun. We're also posting on TikTok and Instagram, so go ahead and give those a follow as well. It really helps not only the algorithm, but my dopamine levels as well, so thank you. You make me high. Today's shout out goes to a comment we actually got on one of our shorts, Layla Coley, which says, "Now this is proper video content." Now, I have a hard time reading sarcasm from comments, and I hope this is the case where I'm reading it correctly and it's not meant in a sarcastic tone, like if it's a compliment. Because if it's like, oh, now this is content, or it's like, now this is content, I need validation. Because otherwise, that is a lovely compliment and I appreciate it entirely. Thank you, Layla. Whether it's sarcasm or not, though I have a feeling it's not, thank you for your comment, for your support, and for your acknowledgement of our efforts in bringing you book content of both the long and short form variety. On that note, I'm off to go make more mini lists to turn into 1-minute clips to perpetuate your endless scrolling. Stay lost, keep reading. Don't look at my pajamas. Goodbye! Should I do the outro one more time?